my modern world. So
Ours too.
I was talking with our host, Tarnesh Prabhuji, that Bhagavad Gita, this Bhagavad Gita as it is very special. As it is, we say. When I first saw this title, I thought that sounds very presumptuous. Bhagavad Gita as it is. What about all the other Bhagavad Gitas in English? They're not counted, or what is the? This is what I was doubting. In fact, I had read many other editions of Bhagavad Gita in English before I read this one. And honestly, I have to admit that I could not really understand very much of what I had read from those Bhagavad Gitas. Now, after some 4 decades of careful study and training in Krishna consciousness, I can also add to that the reason I wasn't able to understand those Bhagavad Gitas is because their publishers also did not understand them. In chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says something very important about this. He says that we have to understand this thing in disciplic succession. Evam parampara praptam imam marajar shayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yoko nashta parantava. And he says, evayam mayatedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhakto sime sakhacheti rahasyam hietaruttamam. That means that supreme science was received through the chain of disciplic succession, and saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Let's all focus now, not on the cameras, but on Bhagavad Gita. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, Krishna speaks. Because you, who's you? Arjuna. Because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. So Krishna is here saying that Bhagavad Gita is understood in 2 ways. Number 1, it is understood most easily by a devotee. And secondly, it is understood in disciplic succession. Practically, we can see that Srila Prabhupada was certainly a devotee, unquestionably a devotee. Not a yogi, not a mayavadi, not a karmi, not a whatever. He was a devotee. And he was also coming in disciplic succession. Which disciplic succession? Anyone know? Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. In the Padma Purana, we find there's mention that there are, in Kali Yuga, there are 4 authorized paramparas, Vaishnava paramparas. What are those? Sri Sampradaya, represented later on by Ramanujacharya in the south. Brahma Sampradaya, represented later on by Madhvacharya, also prominent in the south. We have the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, later on represented by Vallabhacharya, prominent in Gujarat. And we have the Kumar Sampradaya, later on represented by Nimbarka Acharya, and very prominent in Vrindavan. Of these 4 Sampradayas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Diksha in the line from Brahma and Madhva. So therefore it's called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, because he was preaching mainly in Gauda, North India, and particularly West Bengal, East India.